The taxi industry needs to be deep cleaned, starting at ownership levels. This statement from the Police Minister, Bheki Cele, he says hitmen do not just decide to go out and kill taxi owners. They are given instructions from within the taxi ranks. The number of deaths relating to taxi violence in KwaZulu-Natal has tripled between January and July compared to last year's figures. 24 people have been gunned down this year so far, and we're barely halfway through the year. Let's unpack this now with crime analyst Chris De Kock. Chris, good afternoon. Thank you for your time and your patience while we're on the ground on this developing story in Alexandra. Well, Bheki Cele is a busy minister. He's in Alexandra today. Yesterday, he was in Ugu district in the south of Durban in KwaZulu-Natal, dealing with issues of violence there in the taxi industry, setting up another task team. I was just wondering, is this the way to go? I mean, this problem has been there for quite a long time.
Yeah. Good afternoon to the listeners and the viewers. Yeah, those problems are there for many years. And, you know, I mean, these hit squads, it seems I don't know what happened in the last few months, but it seems the hit squads are not only busy with the taxis or doing hits on taxi bosses and so on, but this hit squads, and maybe it's the very same hit squads, are also used everywhere else, like what we have seen last weekend here in Soweto and in other places. Because clearly that was also a hit squad. And it may very well be that may also be connected to the taxi hit squads, because you know that the taxi hit squads or those people who are part of that are also involved in many crimes right through South Africa. I mean, they were involved in it seems, in the shooting. I mean, we will still have to see the end of the court case of Senzo Mayewa, and we also saw them active in Cape Town, shooting an advocate, and then a whistleblower in the south of Johannesburg a few months ago.
The other issue, as we're talking about this matter of the taxi industry, regards illegal firearms. It seems like these criminals, like we've seen in Alexandra, just have easy access to guns and ammunition. Yeah,
they have. And mostly it will be guns that was stolen from legal owners and robbed from legal owners during house robberies especially. But in some cases, it's high-caliber guns. I don't know the guns that was now used this morning in Alexandra, or last night. But in Soweto, for example, in that shooting, it was an AK-47, at least one AK-47, and they've picked up a lot of bullet casings, somewhere in the 100, and then 9 mils. Now, where do they get the AK-47? AK-47 is not difficult to explain. I think there's still quite a lot in doing the rounds. They came from the old armed caches during the liberation struggle. But then even you see more and more that the R4s and the R5s of the police and the defense force are being used. I mean, especially when you come to CIT robberies, that is the popular weapon because it's more effective against armor than the AK-47. So this is a problem. And I must tell you that I have never seen an increase in murders as a result of these firearms. I've never seen an increase as I've seen in last year, 21-22. In that year, our murders increased for that full year. It increased 16.6%. I've calculated it compared to 2019-20. I've never seen an increase in murders like that. And even in that year, as we continued, as the minister released quarterly reports, I see that in the first quarter, it was a normal rise, second quarter, abnormal, third quarter, it even skyrocketed, and in the fourth quarter, nearly 50% of the murders of that year occurred. Yeah, and it seems
Yeah, Chris.
It seems it's
sorry.
now continuing.
Yeah, finally, and very brief, if you may, sir, Chris, the issue now of the minister setting up a multidisciplinary task team, for example, in KwaZulu-Natal, to specifically focus on the issue of taxi violence in the Ugu district south of Durban. Do you think it's a way to go? I mean, what can a task team actually do, I wonder?
No, I think I don't see any problem with it that he created the task team there. Because in that process, they will clean up the taxi business, which it's high time to clean that violence in that taxi. I mean, we have seen the figures there. I mean, that is quite high murder figures. So by setting up a task team, a multi-disciplinary task team, I think you can clean up the business. And in the process, you may also arrest hitmen which are operational right through South Africa, even up here in Soweto and down there in Cape Town.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris De Kock, crime analyst, for some of his insights there, following the news from yesterday, this one, when Bheki Cele was in KwaZulu-Natal, dealing with the issue of taxi violence in the Ugu district. And of course, we know that today we are tracking him on the ground here in Gauteng. He spent several hours in Alexandra.